Hello, it's Andy Prothero from PCR Global and Fit for Purpose. Without a Llewellyn today, I'm in Columbo, about to return from a security audit on the maritime security 28,007. I'm just thinking, as always, about risk assessment culture. I love coming to different countries because you get to meet lots of different types of people. Realise that the world isn't wrapped up in cotton wool in all countries, but also countries aren't as safe as each other when you start looking about how work is planned and how work is done and how work is reviewed, isn't it? So I think what am I trying to say? I'm thinking about risk assessment things. I'm writing a risk assessment course at the minute. And the importance I place when sort of writing risk assessments is to think, when you're writing about the safe systems of work, think about the culture, think about the attitude towards safety from the group of people and the management that you're actually either support. I write the risk assessment for or supporting to write the risk assessment. Always consider the attitude, culture of the group, but also the attitude of the management towards safety. That's hugely going to impact the success of the risk assessment, isn't it? You might have a risk assessment that is a lot of people write them sort of in confinement and they on their own, but we know you need to involve the group, but also just consider when you're involving the group the attitude of the supervisors and the attitude of management to the control measures and whether they're even going to bother. Because if they're not, that should affect the rating, the risk rating. You might not be using a scoring matrix, but ultimately you might just be making comments what further controls need to be made, or you might be having numbers, or you might be having words, high, medium or low, depending on what you're doing. But ultimately, if the culture, the attitude to safety of the person supervising or managing the task, that should be reflected in your control measures and in your gauge of the level of risk. So that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for considering health and safety risk assessments, or security risk assessments as well, considering the management, the culture and the attitude to risk in your findings. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy and as always, stay productive.